Hello and welcome to CEAZOR Snack Sandwich. Today we're taking a look at Dopex. Now Dopex is a decentralized option exchange that's kind of live on Arbitrum, and they're kind of in the launch phase. They're kind of live. Well, you'll see when I go inside. It's pretty interesting. I spent a lot of time today reading through the docs and reading through all the mediums and stuff to try to get a good idea. And I'll have to admit that this is probably going to be a little bit misinformed. I'm taking a few guesses here and there because I wasn't able to get clear answers. I did go into the Discord and I did ask some questions, and when I get to those points that I'm unclear when I'm explaining things, then I will be sure to say that this is what I think is the truth, not what is actually the truth. Okay, so let's go inside. Let's go into the app and see what it looks. So when you go inside, you have two options so far. You have the farms, and the farms are pretty straightforward. Just you can provide liquidity to the token and the other token versus ETH and ETH. And I believe this is SushiSwap, but maybe it's Uniswap on Arbitrum. And then you can just single stake these other two tokens. And I'll get into what these tokens do inside the protocol later when I go through a flowchart. And the second option here are what they call these single-sided or single staking options of vaults, and there are three here right now, so you can single stake this or this, and I will talk a little bit more about these when I go through the flowchart as well. But as you can see, you can manage this, so you can provide liquidity to these vaults here, but you cannot buy options yet. So I'm not sure when these options are going to come into play and so forth. But anyhow, these are live. They are usable. You can get 7% on your Ethereum if you put it inside here and so forth. So let's go over to the flowchart and let's talk about what that is and what it looks like and so forth. Okay, so here we are on the flowchart. Now I did take this from their documentation and I did change a little bit just to make things a little bit more clear. And I did remove one part or two. But anyhow, so let's go through it and talk a little bit about what makes this options protocol kind of special. Basically, you have the first kind of person, or they use circles to indicate actors or people who will take part in this protocol. So this is a person, a liquidity provider, and he wants to provide liquidity to options traders. So he doesn't want to trade options. He just wants to give money to them so that they can trade and pay him a small premium. So when he provides liquidity to these pools, then he will have a choice of some set strike prices. So maybe for Ethereum, there might be like 4,000, maybe 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, so forth. So there's some set prices that he could choose to provide liquidity to those specific call options. Now it does talk in the documentation about put options as well, but there are no put option vaults on the website right now. And put options aren't quite as popular as call options, so I don't see it being a high priority to allow those to happen. So the strike prices, the strike price is the price that, well, if someone buys an option and the price of Ethereum goes to, say, that strike price, let's say it's $4,000, then he can exercise it and he can actually start to get some money. So it's like a very low risk way to bet on the price of an asset. So he just pays a small premium, and then if the price goes to that strike price, then he can exercise it and buy the tokens at the price that he locked in, right? That he locked in at the bottom there when he locked inside. So the epochs are 1 month and 1 week, but when you go into the UI, it just has 1 month, and there's always talk about 1 month. But in the documentation, it does say that they will have some 1 week ones, so maybe that will come in the future. So provider of liquidity will provide liquidity to the options traders and get paid premiums for doing so. So sometimes he will come here with an asset that's not part of the options trading. So they do talk about having this option to zap in, so to speak. So let's say you had USDC or USDT and you wanted to provide to the ETH pool, then it would just swap your USDT on Uniswap or SushiSwap and put that inside. So they're going to have some swapping or some zapping in and so forth. Now, we have the other actor. The other actor is the purchaser of the option. He will come and he will just purchase options from the option based on the settings of the different pools, right? So this liquidity provider could provide to many of the pools that have these different kind of settings, right? Like maybe he provides some money to 4,000 strike price, 5,000 strike price, and he would come along and say, oh, I want to buy some of those options from there. And it does say here lock collateral, so I believe, he's going to lock in his collateral so that when he wants to exercise it, the money is there to be exercised. It doesn't have to come forth, because he is basically, he has to lock in the collateral to pay the premium, and he also has to lock in the collateral that he will pay for the option. Now, I'm not completely sure on this one, but that's what I'm guessing. Okay, so he locks in the collateral that he will pay for the option, so that because that option is now basically given to him, so when he wants to exercise it, nobody else can buy that option. So he has to lock in the collateral, but he doesn't have to exercise, so he would get the collateral back, I believe. Now, there is this pool broker, and I guess this is just another smart contract that's going to interact between the options pool and this person here. Now, there is a talk about a volume pool. Now, it's very interesting in the docs the way they talk about it, but I wasn't able to find out exactly how this gets filled up. So there will be a line over here later that talks a little bit about incentivization, but I don't quite understand. But basically, one of the aspects of this volume pool that was interesting is it's going to give discounted prices on the options. And what I read was, what I understand is that this is going to calculate based on the epoch. As the epoch gets closer and closer to being finished, it's going to give people a better discount, these purchasers a better discount on purchasing these options, to incentivize people to buy these options at a discount, in order to make sure that there is some options trading happening, that there is some volume going on inside of the protocol. Like I said, I don't know exactly how it gets filled up, but anyhow, let's keep going. Now, there are these things called rebates. Now, this provider of this liquidity, it's not a riskless thing to put Ethereum in here. So let's say your Ethereum goes up in value, then you gain that US dollar value gaining, but once it crosses the strike price, then you start to share your Ethereum with this person, because they are going to buy some of your Ethereum for you. You will still get, premiums, and you will still get your upside up to the strike price. But after the strike price, you start to lose some quantity of Ethereum or whatever token you're providing options for to the purchaser. So there's going to be a calculation of this, they're going to say, oh, did you actually get a net loss, based on the premiums and based on the growth. And then there's also going to be some bonus as well. So it's going to calculate if you get a net loss, and then it's going to give you this token called RDPX. Now, it's not going to give you exactly 1-to-1 year loss. There's some talk about a percentage, but I don't know exactly how much percent they're going to give you, but they will give you some rebate in this RDPX token. Now, what does this RDPX token do? It's going to boost the fees from the other token. It's going to be used as collateral for synthetic assets and for leveraging. So if you want, some other stuff that's coming in the future. And then it also talks about being used to pay fees, maybe for the vaults or something like that in the future. So over to the next part. So now we have pool rewards. So because this liquidity provider is providing rewards or providing liquidity, he gets rewards from just in this DPX token, which is another token. This DPX token is the governance token of the protocol, and this DPX token gives rights to the fees. So I assume you would stake this DPX token, you would then be able to vote on things, and you would also have a claim on the fees of the protocol. And like I said over here, this RTPX will boost these fees over here to the DPX token. So it's good to hold both of them for this. On to the next part. Now, this is the line here that I was talking about. It says adding to volume pool. So he will also get rewards in this DPX token for using or providing to this volume pool. Now, I couldn't find any buttons inside the UI that talk about the volume pool. I specifically asked, how does this get filled in the Discord? And I didn't get any answers. So I really don't know about this. And the documentation and the Medium articles don't explain it very well, at least to me. So I'm sorry about that. And then the last thing we have is we have some bots. So they're going to incentivize some bots to do some stuff, like to call some functions, like, oh, there's an expired contract. It needs to be like there needs to be some rollovers or something. There needs to be some functions called by some bots, and they're going to incentivize these bots to run these functions with this DPX token, okay? And so that pretty much covers the flow of it, right? Now, there is one thing I want to mention, and that is if you go back to the website, it talks about these single-sided vaults, right? So what it says here is that these vaults are going to do two things for you. They're going to, it says it's going to help you to farm your rewards. Now, I assume that they're not going to, collect your rewards, sell your rewards for you, and then, for ETH, like a normal, like a yield aggregator type thing. It's not going to, collect these DPX tokens and sell them and get you more ETH. It's just going to collect them for you, or at least be in here. However, what it will do, and this is another guess, is that they will collect the premiums for you, and they will also roll over into the next epochs. Now, these are like two things I'm assuming. I'm not exactly sure. I couldn't find exactly what it says that, but this is what I believe that it's going to do. So I think this pretty much covers it. I would suggest you to go check out the website, find out like what's going on in here, and, read through some of these Medium articles. There's quite a few of them actually. So you can go through them and maybe read the docs and go to the Discord and try your luck with the Discord and see if you have any more luck than me. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been useful and interesting, and goodbye.